She said, "You need to do the work on your toxic masculinity." I replied, "Self-improvement is key." I joined a men's group. My first breakthrough was realizing the most toxic thing in my life was her. She was stunned when I broke up with her, citing her own advice. I, 32 male, just ended things with Margot, 30, after 2.5 years. The conversation went something like this. "I've been doing the work you suggested on my toxic masculinity, and I've had a breakthrough." "Oh my God, finally! What did you realize?" "That the most toxic thing in my life is this relationship." The silence was deafening. Then came the explosion. But let me back up. 6 months ago, Margot started really hammering on this toxic masculinity thing. Everything I did was somehow problematic. Watched the game with friends, toxic sports culture. Went to the gym, obsession with physical dominance. Didn't cry during a sad movie. Emotional repression. Fixed her car myself instead of calling AAA. Need to be the hero. Disagreed with her about literally anything. Mansplaining. The breaking point was when her sister visited. I grilled steaks for dinner. Margot's commentary, "See how he has to control the grill? Classic toxic masculinity. He won't even let me cook the meat." "You've never wanted to grill," I pointed out. "That's not the point, Asher. It's about the patriarchal assumption that men control fire and meat." Her sister just stared at her plate. That night, Margot sent me 12 articles about toxic masculinity. TED Talks, Instagram infographics, the works. "You need to do the work," she said. "I can't be with someone who refuses to grow. What specifically should I work on? If you have to ask, that's part of the problem. Real growth comes from within." So, therapy? Men's groups are good, but find one focused on deconstructing masculinity, not just guys complaining about women. Fine, I'd try. Found a men's group through my local community center. Men supporting men. Met Thursday nights at the library. First meeting, I expected a bunch of guys apologizing for existing. Instead, dudes from all walks of life. Teachers, mechanics, lawyers, retail workers, ages 22 to 65. The facilitator, Jerome, opened with, "This is a space for men to support each other in becoming better versions of themselves. Not better for anyone else's definition, better for ourselves." Week 1, I mostly listened. Guys talked about divorce, job loss, depression, fatherhood, real stuff. No one mentioned toxicity. Week 2, I shared why I was there. "My girlfriend says I have toxic masculinity. Trying to work on it." "What makes it toxic?" Jerome asked. I listed Margot's complaints. The room was quiet. Then this older guy, Walter, spoke up. "Son, does she ever say what you do right?" I thought about it. Really thought. "Not recently? When's the last time she built you up instead of tearing you down?" Couldn't remember. Week 3, homework was to journal about our relationships. Write down interactions, look for patterns. The patterns were illuminating. Monday, made Margot coffee. She criticized how I stirred it. Clockwise is aggressive, counterclockwise is gentler. Tuesday, suggested a restaurant. "Why do you always have to decide where we eat?" Let her pick. "Why do I have to do all the emotional labor of choosing?" Wednesday, complimented her presentation for work. "Classic male, need to validate women's work like we need your approval." Thursday, didn't compliment her outfit. "You never notice anything I wear." Opened her car door. "I'm capable of opening doors, Asher." Didn't open it next time. Wow, chivalry really is dead. Brought the journal to group. "Anyone else see the pattern?" Jerome asked after I read some entries. Everyone did. "You're in a no-win situation," said Marcus, a divorced dad. "Everything you do is wrong because she decided you're wrong. But what if I do have toxic traits?" "Maybe you do," Jerome said. "We all have areas to improve, but healthy partners help us grow. They don't tear us down and call it help." Week 4, we discussed boundaries. I realized I had none with Margot. She criticized everything and I just took it. "Why?" Jerome asked. "Because she's trying to help me be better?" "Is she? Or is she trying to make you smaller?" That hit different. Week 5, Margot noticed changes, not good ones in her opinion. "You're getting defensive lately. I'm setting boundaries." "See? Defensive. You should be thanking me for helping you grow." Growth through constant criticism? It's not criticism, it's observation. "God, your toxic masculinity is getting worse." "What are they teaching you at that group?" "Self-respect." She laughed. Actually laughed. Men centering themselves. Typical. That night, I made a decision. Week 6, told the group I was thinking of leaving her. "What's stopping you?" Walter asked. We live together, share a lease. She'll make it hell. It's already hell, Marcus pointed out. Fair. Week 7, started preparing, found subletter options, researched tenant rights, documented everything. Week 8 was Thanksgiving, Margot's family gathering. The final straw happened there. Her cousin brought her new boyfriend. Nice guy, software developer. Margot spent the evening pointing out his toxic traits to me. See how he serves her plate first? Performative chivalry. Notice how he mentions his job? Male need for status. Watch how he sits, taking up space, manspreading. The poor guy was just existing. After dinner, Margot's mom pulled me aside. Asher, honey, can I ask you something? Sure, Linda. Are you happy? The question broke something in me. No, I'm really not. I didn't think so. You know, Margot's been like this since college. Women's studies changed her, not in a good way. She means well. No, sweetie, she doesn't. She likes feeling superior, always has. That night, driving home, Margot continued her critique. Your toxic masculinity was on full display. How you had to help Dad with the TV. How you ate seconds without asking. How you... I'm done. What? I'm done. With this. With us. I've been doing the work like you asked, and I've realized the most toxic thing in my life is this relationship. She laughed. That condescending laugh. You can't break up with me for helping you grow. Watch me. This is exactly what toxic men do. Abandon women who challenge them. No, this is what healthy people do. Leave relationships that tear them down. Where is this coming from? That stupid men's group? The group helped me see what was already there. You don't love me, Margot. You love having someone to fix, to feel superior to. That's ridiculous. I'm trying to help you. Name one thing you like about me, right now. One thing I do right. Silence. Then, I love your potential. My potential, not me. My potential to become what you want. That's growth. That's control. We got home. I slept on the couch. Started packing the next morning. You're seriously doing this? She stood in the doorway, arms crossed. Yes. Over constructive feedback, over constant criticism disguised as help, you'll never find someone who invests in your growth like I have. God, I hope not. This is traumatic behavior, Asher, walking away when things get challenging. No, staying in emotional abuse because it's familiar is traumatic behavior. I'm choosing health. Abuse? I'm helping you. Helping looks like support, encouragement, building up, not tearing down every single thing I do. Classic Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. Margot, you literally just described what you do. She threw a coffee mug. It shattered against the wall. See? I said calmly. Who's toxic here? You made me do that. Your aggression triggered me. I'm packing boxes. That's not aggressive. Your energy is aggressive. I kept packing. She kept yelling. Recorded it all on my phone, just in case. 3 hours later, my car was loaded. Half the furniture was mine, but I only took essentials. Not worth the fight. Where will you go? She actually looked panicked now. Friend's couch until I find a place. This is insane. We can work through this. Couples therapy? So you can tell a therapist how toxic I am for $200 an hour? Pass. I'll work on my communication style. It's not your style, Margot. It's your belief that I'm fundamentally broken and need fixing. Everyone needs to grow. Growth, yes. Complete reconstruction because you've decided masculinity itself is toxic? No, you're making a huge mistake. Maybe. But it's my mistake to make. I left. She called 47 times that day. Texts ranged from please come back to you're an abusive narcissist to I'm keeping your PlayStation. Joke's on her. I took the PlayStation. Update 1. The entitlement started immediately. Day 1 post-breakup, she sent an itemized bill for her emotional labor during our relationship. I kid you not. Educating you on feminism, 300 hours at $50 hour, equal 15,000. Correcting toxic behaviors, 500 hours at $75 hour, equals 37,500. Emotional damage from your resistance to growth, 10,000. Sudden abandonment trauma, 25,000. Total, $87,500. I texted back, lol no. She threatened small claims court. I forwarded it to my lawyer friend Dominic from the men's group. He laughed for 5 straight minutes. Please tell me she sent this in writing. Email and text. Christmas came early. Save everything. Day 3, she showed up at my friend Corey's place where I was staying. We need to talk like adults, she announced. We did. I said we're done. You can't just decide that unilaterally. That's literally how breakups work. In healthy relationships, both parties agree. This wasn't a healthy relationship. She tried to push past me into the apartment. I blocked the doorway. Move, Asher. No. This is physical intimidation. This is me standing in a doorway of a place you don't live. I'll call the police. Please do. Explain how your ex-boyfriend won't let you into his friend's apartment. She stomped off, but not before keying my car. Yeah. Got her on Corey's Ring camera doing it too. Day 5, the social media campaign began. But not how you'd expect. She went full wellness influencer. Posted a series about surviving narcissistic abuse with photos of us where I'm cropped out. Quoted bell hooks. Brené Brown. Made herself the poster child for healing from toxic masculinity. The captions were wild. When you realize your empathy was used against you. Healing from someone who weaponized their growth journey. He said I was too helpful. Classic narc behavior. The comments were initially supportive until her sister Daphne chimed in. Margot, you literally spent Thanksgiving calling his breathing pattern toxic. Margot deleted the comment. Daphne posted screenshots on her own page. Since my sister wants to play victim publicly, here's the truth. She emotionally abused this man for years under the guise of helping. I watched it, we all did. Asher, if you see this, I'm sorry we didn't speak up sooner. The comments shifted. People who knew us started sharing their observations. Remember when you made him apologize for sneezing too loud? Didn't you tell him his laugh was aggressive? You said his way of loading the dishwasher was misogynistic. Margot's response? She made her account private and sent Daphne a cease and desist she drafted herself. Legally meaningless, but dramatically written. Day 8, I found an apartment. Small studio, month-to-month lease. Perfect for starting over. Margot somehow found out, showed up during move-in with printed articles. I've been researching, she announced. You might have narcissistic personality disorder. Based on? Your refusal to accept feedback. Your abandonment of our growth journey. Your toxic need for independence. Independence is toxic now? When used to avoid accountability? Yes. My new neighbor, an elderly woman named Rosetta, watched this unfold from her doorway. Young man, is this person bothering you? I'm his girlfriend. Margot snapped. Ex-girlfriend, I corrected. Oh honey, Rosetta said to me, want me to call building security? I'm helping him. Margot protested. Doesn't look like he wants your help, Rosetta observed. He doesn't know what he wants. He's in a toxic masculinity spiral. Rosetta looked at me, then at Margot. Sugar, the only toxic thing I see here is you harassing this nice young man. Margot left, but not before slipping printed articles under my door. Signs your partner is a covert narcissist. When men weaponize therapy, the danger of men's rights groups. That last one made me laugh. My men's group spent last week discussing healthy cooking and work-life balance. Real dangerous stuff. Day 10, she tried a new approach. Showed up with a gift basket, organic tea, a journal, a book called Unpacking Privilege. I realize I came on too strong, she said. I want to support your journey, not control it. Margot, we're not together anymore. I know, this is friendship, platonic support. I don't want that either. You're isolating yourself. That's concerning behavior. I have friends, a support group. I'm not isolated. Male echo chambers don't count. Goodbye, Margot. This conversation isn't over. Yes, it is. She left the basket. I gave it to Rosetta. She loved the tea. Day 14, the escalation really began, but I'll save that for the next update. Just know it involves her mom, a wellness retreat, and the police. The men's group has been my lifeline. Last meeting, Jerome asked how I was doing. Free, I said. For the first time in years, I feel free. That's growth, Walter said. Real growth, not whatever she was selling. Still feel guilty sometimes, like maybe I should have tried harder. Tried harder to what? Marcus asked. Disappear? Become whatever she wanted? That's not growth, brother. That's death. He was right. Margot wanted me to do the work. I did, just not the way she expected, and the work led me away from her. Funny how that happens. Update 2. Remember how I mentioned her mom and a wellness retreat? Yeah, that was just the beginning. Day 15. Margot's mom Linda called, the same woman who pulled me aside at Thanksgiving. Asher, I need your help. Linda, I don't think. Please, just hear me out. Margot's spiraling. She signed up for a $3,000 wellness retreat to heal from narcissistic abuse. She can't afford it. That's not my problem anymore. I know, I know, but she's telling everyone you financially abused her too, controlled the money. We split everything 50-50. I have Venmo receipts. Could you share those? Just to prove she's lying? I thought about it. Linda, no disrespect, but Margot needs to face consequences. Bailing her out won't help. You're right. God, you're right. I don't know what happened to my daughter. She got addicted to being right, to being the victim and the hero at the same time. Linda was quiet. Then, that's exactly it. Thank you for seeing it clearly. Day 18, Margot went to the retreat anyway, maxed out a credit card, posted constantly about her healing journey. The retreat was something. Decolonizing your heart, a woman's journey away from toxic love. She tweeted epiphanies, realizing how I dimmed my light to make him comfortable. My facilitator says I have excessive empathy disorder from giving too much, learning to reclaim my voice after years of silencing. Her sister Daphne texted me screenshots. I cannot with her. You dodged a nuclear missile. Day 20, midway through the retreat, Margot had a breakthrough, called me at 2 a.m. from a blocked number. I forgive you, she whispered. What? I've done the work. I forgive you for your limitations, for being unable to meet me at my level of consciousness. Margot, I'm hanging up. Wait. My facilitator says closure requires daily. Click. She called back 6 times. I turned off my phone. Day 22, she returned from the retreat, transformed. New crystals, new vocabulary, same entitlement, showed up at the men's group location. Yeah. She stalked the community center until she figured out where we met. Burst in during Marcus's share about co-parenting challenges. This is where you got poisoned against me. 15 men stared at her. Jerome stood calmly. Ma'am, this is a private meeting. I know what this is, a toxic masculinity support group. You're enabling each other's worst impulses. Ma'am, please leave, she pointed at me. You turned him against growth, against evolution. Walter, 65-year-old Vietnam vet, stood up. Lady, the only thing we turned him against was your bullshit. How dare you? No, Jerome interrupted. How dare you? This is a safe space for men supporting each other. You're trespassing. Safe space? Men don't need safe spaces. You have the whole world. Security is on the way, Jerome said calmly. She turned to me. This is what you choose? These toxic enablers over someone who loved your potential? Yes, I said simply. Security arrived. She left screaming about lawsuits and patriarchy. The group was silent. Then Marcus said, Brother, I apologize for every time I thought you were exaggerating. That was intense, said Kai, our youngest member at 22. That, Jerome said, was a masterclass in emotional manipulation. Did you all notice how she made herself the victim while actively aggressing? We spent the rest of the session processing what happened. It was actually therapeutic. Day 25, legal threats arrived. Not from a real lawyer. From Margot's legal consultant, aka her friend who took 1 semester of pre-law, claimed I owed damages for abandonment trauma, theft of emotional investment, sabotage of growth journey, defamation by truth. Yes, really. Dominic from the group responded on official letterhead. Dear Miss Margot, truth is an absolute defense against defamation. No money is owed for ending a relationship. Please cease contact with my client. P.S. Defamation by truth is not a legal concept. Day 28, she tried getting me fired. Called my workplace claiming I was dangerous and shouldn't work with the public. My manager Kenji called me in. So, got an interesting call about you. My heart sank. Sir, I can explain. No need. She claimed you were in a dangerous men's group plotting against women, then said you abandoned her during a spiritual awakening, then accused you of theft of emotional labor? I'm so sorry. Asher, relax, it was clearly unhinged, but document this for HR, get a restraining order. Already working on it. Good. Also, she said you're in therapy? A men's support group, yeah. Good for you, more people should. Day 30, court date for the restraining order. I had texts demanding $87,500, ring footage of her keying my car, security footage from the men's group incident, recorded calls and voicemails, screenshots of false accusations. She showed up with printed articles about narcissistic abuse, a spirit advisor as a character witness, a PowerPoint about toxic masculinity. The judge stopped her on slide 3. Ms. Margot, none of this is relevant to whether you've harassed Mr. Asher. But I'm showing context. He abandoned me during vulnerable growth. Breaking up isn't harassment. Keying cars is. Disrupting support groups is. Making false reports to employers is. Those were activism. Those were crimes. Restraining order granted. 1 year, no contact. As we left court, she yelled, "This is spiritual bypassing. You're avoiding the work." Her mom was there, looked exhausted, mouthed, "I'm sorry" to me. That evening, the men's group had a pizza party. Partially to celebrate my freedom, mostly because Jerome got a promotion. "How you feeling?" Walter asked. "Like I survived a cult." "You kind of did," Jerome said. "The cult of perpetual victimhood." "I actually learned a lot, though. About boundaries, self-respect, real growth." "That's the irony," Marcus added. "She pushed you to do the work, and the work led you away from her." "Think she'll ever get it?" Kai asked. We all looked at him. Sweet summer child. "No," everyone said simultaneously. Last I heard, Margot started a YouTube channel, Healing from Hidden Narcissism. Has 39 subscribers. Posted one video about how men's groups are radicalizing vulnerable males. The comments are all from her mom begging her to get actual therapy. Meanwhile, I'm thriving. Got promoted. Turns out, being less stressed makes you better at your job. Started dating casually, nothing serious, just remembering what healthy interaction looks like. The men's group continues weekly. We added a book club. Currently reading The Body Keeps the Score. Fascinating stuff about trauma. Real growth work, it turns out, doesn't involve tearing anyone down. It's about building yourself up, supporting others, learning to recognize manipulation. Margot taught me a lot. Just not what she intended. She wanted me to work on my toxic masculinity. Instead, I worked on recognizing toxic people. Best education I never asked for.